That's what I want. That's it. That's what I need. It will balance my health. It will balance my mentally and my work lifestyle to be able to be there for my wife and myself, and more importantly, and that's all I can think of.
What's up, and welcome back to The Edge of Normal. We are not here for normal, we are here for what's possible. And this next guest is someone who embodies what The Edge of Normal is all about. Andie is not here to be defined by labels or limitations. He has faced more than his fair share of challenges, setbacks, adversity, and even though being deaf, he shows up and goes after the life he truly wants. This legend is truly someone who brings intent and has a passion and a plan to help others. This isn't about just the wins or the setbacks. It's about what makes him relentless, what makes him real, and what makes him a blueprint for anyone else who has ever felt like the odds were stacked against them. Let's get him out. Andie.
Hi. All right.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
And thank you so much for spending some time today. This is cool. I'm excited.
Yes, me too.
Awesome. So we connected a while back, and you're originally from New Zealand, yeah?
Yes, I am. Well, originally I'm born in Australia, but when I was about 14, my father had a transfer job to New Zealand, so we moved over to New Zealand, and then since then we've stayed in New Zealand until about nearly 20 years ago. I moved to the UK.
Yeah, right. And do you ever travel back here?
I have been back to New Zealand. I went back not last year, but the year before, so the following year. But we just talk saying we will, and it never happened.
Yeah.
But no, I do have to try to make that a bit more commitment. Go back over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you miss living in New Zealand compared to where you are? Like, was that a big change?
To be honest, people in the UK think I'm so crazy for coming to the UK. What's wrong with New Zealand? The truth is, because I'm profoundly deaf, so I sign, but obviously I grew up with my speech and not read it a lot. In New Zealand, the deaf community is so small.
Right.
There's only 2 deaf schools, 1 deaf organisation. Now, imagine that. Now, over the UK, 20 deaf organisations, 10 deaf schools around the UK.
Yeah, right.
So compare that. UK is slightly bigger than New Zealand if you look on the map, but the accessible situation is better in the UK than New Zealand back then.
Right.
I like to think that now New Zealand has probably caught up or I've seen some improvement. If you had met me 20 years ago, I always tell people this, that I am a different person to I was 20 years ago. I would not be able to do this online business. I would not be able to have a better understanding of this. Since coming to the UK, I had more opportunity to apply different organisations, deaf related, and I was easy to get an interview or get offered for a job. Whereas if I apply to a normal organisation like Hearing organisation,
Yes,
that doesn't need the phone or something like that, that I believe that I can do that. What's interesting between New Zealand and UK, from my experience, is that when you apply for a job to a hearing organisation in the UK, by law, if it looks good on the CV, you have to interview that person.
right.
No matter what the background is. In New Zealand, back then, when I was trying to change job, but in the same role from a deaf school, I was working as a residential support worker, and I thought I'd do something similar, but in a hearing environment. I applied, but because I was deaf on my CV back then, and they turned me down straight away. But in the UK, that you have to interview, even though if you look good, but in person, you'll be like, well, not quite right, but great on your CV, but the way I come out or the way I think and understand, not quite. So they say, well, thanks for the interview, but however, you're not successful.
Yeah.
And that just impacted me really badly in a good way. And I thought, wow, okay, that's so different. So I just got more confident, and I sort of able to open up for wider, broader knowledge and everything. If I had to now go back to New Zealand for family reason, or I just had enough, I want to go back home, I have the confidence to apply any job, even though in a hearing organisation, because I've got the disability empowerment that I can say, hey, that's discrimination, or you can't stay there. I do have that, or I can do that. Give me a go. And also doing this online business for the last 1.5 years, roughly, I have the knowledge and the confidence that I can just go out there and try something and build it up if I had to. So, but unfortunately, I I find this funny that I'm actually stuck in the UK because my wife's here, I've got a house, and so I don't think I'll ever be able to escape.
You're locked in.
Yes, I'm locked in. Yes.
Man, that is unreal. It's something I didn't know. Obviously, I don't know anything about that. And it's crazy that you're saying that there's a lot of people that don't get the same opportunities because
That's right. Yeah.
that's unreal. Wow.
Well, it's really funny because I said to a friend back in 2005 when I came over here to like a work exchange. If you think about all those students back then, had student exchange, like from New Zealand to America. America come to New Zealand for 6-month exchange just for the teenager to explore the country lifestyle. And I thought, well, as an adult, why can't we do that? So I explore into it and I start asking all the deaf school in the UK while I was at the deaf school in New Zealand working if they would do an exchange to the same role or similar. And one came up, and that she was happy. So she stayed in my house with my mum, and I stayed in her house over the UK for about 4 months. And at the same time, the exchange rate was 3 times the dollars. It's very expensive. I was drawing £100 almost every day, cost me $300. I only realised 1 week later, oh my God, I'm spending so much money.
Holy.
And so I had to get a job. So that's how I found out when I started applying for jobs. And I had one job that was playing like what was it called? I think it was more of a, something to do with the housing association, helping people to find a rental property with the council, and it's sort of like a database or something just put on the system. And I thought, oh, okay, I can do that, and I applied. But at the same time, when I put the application, I thought, no, because I'm deaf, I've got to be able to answer the phone and all that kind of thing. I thought, nah, because I was still in my New Zealand mind of how New Zealand was treated. In the UK, I had no idea what UK would do. And I got email or letter saying that I've been invited for an interview. And I said to my friend, oh, I thought I wouldn't because I'm deaf, phone, communication, all of it. And she said, well, by legal or effortless course, you have to. Oh, and then I start to get my confidence and went from there.
Yeah, right. Wow. That's cool. So, yeah, in a way, that's definitely a good move to go over there then, and it's helped you personally grow, I guess, and like you said, like get that confidence boost.
Yes, sir. And it's quite funny because I'm a friend who has worked over the UK for a short time or something. She said to me, well, why don't you work in the UK? I was a bit like, no, it's very expensive because when you work out the pound to dollar, it's very expensive. So obviously $3,000, it comes down to about £1,500. So you lose a lot of money, and then it's very low when you come over here. And so that's when I started applying jobs and just went from there. And also, in fact, my father is from England, so I am half British. So I thought, well, I've got family over here and I can get British passport. So that's how I was able to sort of like lucky in one way that I was able to do that. So I did that. And then here I am nearly 20 years later.
Wow. And so this is a good time actually to ask some questions about what you are doing now, because so you've started your own online business too, yeah?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. So that even you've kind of already answered that, but what wasn't really working in your life to make you say that you need to do something different or to start your own online business? What made you want to do that?
Back in 2023, things at work were getting a bit strict, and my wife also deaf, and she relies on me a lot for communications and reading and everything. And my work was also communicating, reading, and everything. And and I was getting a bit stressful at the same time. And my cholesterol was really high at that time. And I thought, I knew I need something where I can just sort of like almost do nothing and earn a good income. It sounds cheeky because that's what everyone wants, but there must be something out there, but I just didn't know what. And then when I left, and I thought I'm keen on property development, and I thought I could do that. But I've got one rental property, so I thought try and build from there, and then buy a property, do it up, flip over, make profit, and then continue that way. You keep some of the profit for yourself and get income, and then move on to the next one. So I thought, yeah, great. But however, with my mortgage brokerage, I don't have enough equity to build from there. I have to wait 3 more years. I thought, right, okay. Anyway, so scroll on Facebook. Just
Yeah, as you do.
passive income, passive income, or passive income. No, stories of passive income stuff. And then this advert came up. This couple from Wales. I thought, oh, okay. They look like I can't say the word genuine,
Genuine.
genuine. Yeah. They look nice. I thought, right, okay. So I clicked on it to the link and everything, and then I came across this training platform that will help you to build a business. And I thought, okay. And so from that day, I just went. I didn't take any concerns or anything. I just went straight into it because if I don't do it, when will you do it? Or
Right.
what will happen if you know? And so I just look into it, and I just went from there, and I contact the couple. I'm there for if their caption, because obviously aesthetical is quite important, because if you think about it now, um, obviously everyone on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, they all talking, and very, very rare you get a deaf person or a hearing person with a sign they come across um promoting their business or anything like that. It's always those spoken people,
Yeah.
even though they have created the caption to come up automatically, but it's not perfect because of the accent and how you pronounce the word. It might come up mumble jumble.
Yeah.
And so so I knew I needed something that is passive income, but like I said before, I didn't know how, what. But one thing I was hoping was to become a deaf interpreter, which means that I'll have to go on a course and do that. The interpreters, they get to choose what job they want to do and when they want to work.
Yeah.
And obviously the pay is very high, and they can work maybe 2 days to get one month, 3 days a week to get 1 month worth of wage in
Yes.
corporate full time. No, I thought that's what I want, so I could spend a bit more time at home and be there for my wife. And also, I've got my own responsibility as well with my own paperwork that I have to manage with and balance. Otherwise, I'm worn out. And so the deaf interpreter, what happened is that, say, this deaf person, their language is very low, but the interpreter cannot bring the language down because the way they are trained to interpret it at that level
Right.
for the deaf community. So I will be the middle person
Yes.
watching the interpreter, and like, well, then I translate it and bring it down lower for this deaf person. So it's a bit like my wife sometimes. Sometimes she's not too sure, and I'm have to think of a different way to explain it. And then when I do it, and she's like, "Ah, well, I've got it," so I'm sort of like in the middle, and that's how it works. But unfortunately, I was hoping to get a job before the time expired of the money to live on to do the course. But I had to pull out the course because I didn't get a job in time to cover the
Right.
course, while at the same time while building the business. Obviously, when you build a business, it's not straight away.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
takes
it
time to
takes
build it.
time, yeah.
So you can't just expect it like that all the time. So I'm just doing part-time job at the moment, and that's okay because it's allowing me time to do my online business in between. And the part-time job is not too bad. It's not very, very pressurized as I had before. And I
Yeah.
can just fit up and I don't have to worry about it too much.
That's so awesome to hear, Andy, and that's really inspiring. It obviously shows that it's so possible. Like, I think a lot of people do get in these situations, maybe they're not happy with where they are, or they do dream about having more or something else, but I think a lot of them get stuck on the fence, maybe because, I don't
Yeah,
know, they're
exactly.
telling themselves excuses like they don't have enough time or something. But you're proof that you're still working part-time while you're building this other thing on the side. That's so cool.
I think more importantly, you have to understand your own personal budget and your lifestyle you live in, of what you can manage and what money you need to cover this. You have to be able to balance it. And also, it's quite funny because since I started the part-time job, um, uh, I'm ready to leave, but I just can't until my business is ready and everything is okay. Um, I've kind of gone downhill again with this part-time job because the organisation is it's not up to scratch, and I keep telling them there's a better way to do this. We have to do something that is less stressful and it's easier to track the record and everything. Um, why I'm saying this is because with this platform training that I've been doing and the community is doing, it's changed my mindset
Yeah.
of how to work smarter and not harder.
Yep.
Whereas at the moment, my part-time job, I'm having to work harder because
Yep.
nothing is smart. It's set up.
Yep.
I kept telling my manager that we need to do something better. There has to be a better way. And she agreed with me, but unfortunately, she can't do anything about it. It's up to the CEO to do something about it. And
Yeah.
so when I realised that, and I look back, I thought, oh, that's right. This platform has taught me how to work smarter rather than harder. Right, that's what I want. That's it. That's what I need. It will balance my health. It will balance my mentally and my work lifestyle to be able to be there for my wife and myself, and more importantly, and that's all I can think of.
You're a very inspiring man, my friend.
Thank you.
That what mindset or part of your life did you have to let go to be able to step into this? Like I was saying, like a lot of people maybe sit back because of fear and they don't want to jump into it. But what did you have to change so you could step into this and dig in and actually start making things happen?
So, like I did back when I found this on Facebook, um, I thought if you don't take the step, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You either wait for 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years later. And if you started then, and then you look back and you realise, well, I could have done it back then. But fair enough, you're not going to know what it's like in the future. So if you know what you really want, and then just go for it. And sometimes you have to take the risk and do it. And if you've got the confidence and you've got the mentally, and that's what really you want, and like I said, just go for it. Otherwise, you may regret it or you may not regret it. I don't regret it at all.
That's awesome. I absolutely agree with you. That's so good. Okay, my next question, I like this one because I know sometimes I get stuck myself, and I think we could all learn something here. What keeps you going when all that motivation and the excitement sort of fades? You know, obviously you hit roadblocks and things, and what keeps you going? What keeps you in that mood to push through?
Like, I was constantly on the computer every day in my spare time because I want to make the most of it. I want to get things on track. So I felt like a little knockback. But looking back now, I'm glad I did because I was a bit overwhelmed at that time, and I did not really have a good break from March 24 till 1 year. I just kept on going with all this training and building my business and everything, and then taking that 6 week break. If I did a little bit in between, but take a break, it allowed me to sort of like wind down and just say, it's okay, you're not going to be perfect. There are probably people worse than me have taken 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 month break, or they're not putting their effort into it. But my mental mind, I ain't putting the effort into it. I'm just having a short break, just allowing myself to refresh it and
Yeah.
understand what I need to do. And so it makes me stronger knowing that it's okay. I'm back on board now, and
Yeah.
then I'll just get out there.
Yeah. It's like having a breather and resetting so you can move forward like a bit clearer, right?
Yeah, so otherwise, where people think is that it's supposed to be easy to build a business and the passive income is easy and everything. Well, not really. It's just like going to a normal job. You have to learn how to do their work, their structure, how to do their software and everything. It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
So you have to allow yourself a space to think through and just review it and talk to other people.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, you've got a moment, then just take the next step forward.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Perfect piece of advice. We're running out of time really quick, man. This is so good. I could talk to you for hours about this. I'm going to have to fire through a couple more questions to you before hopefully we get enough time. This is just maybe to help someone if someone is listening and they are stuck on the fence. Maybe they have been dreaming for more and they want to do something, but they don't know how to go about it. Or what would you say to them? What would your advice be?
My advice would be is to passion of what you love doing in your life. So a lot of people will think passive income means, well, I'll do nothing. I'll just lay back, do nothing, get all that money coming in, no problem. But do you actually love doing that? Is that good for you? Do you enjoy that? Whereas some people prefer to do something that they love to do, whether it's sport related or hobby interest related or personal experience related. That's passion, and you can build a business on that because you've got the experience and you've got the knowledge to guide other people down that direction. The best thing to do is to think about what you love to do and you enjoy doing that. That can become your business.
That's amazing. And there is nothing better than getting to do something that you love to do, right? And if you can turn that into a business, then wow, that's
Yes.
living. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So because you enjoy doing that and you know about that product or whatever that is, you know about it, you are able to pass that on and explain to people. Whereas if you went to a factory shop, building boxes, cardboard boxes, I mean, do you enjoy doing that? You're just getting told what to do and you just have to do that because you need the money. So you may as well do something that you enjoy doing where people have a lot of part-time hobbies, whether it's that is riding your bike, taking photos, going skiing, going traveling around the world, that passion. There are so many option ways that you could build business on that.
Absolutely. I wish I knew you years ago so I could have started my own thing earlier. Just to,
Exactly.
just
I
to
agree
have
with
that
you.
support. I think to have that support and the right people around you, you know, to help navigate you through.
Yes, exactly. I would say the same thing. I mean, I joined Beachbody as an affiliate marketing. Beachbody was based in America because I have personal trainer qualification background since the age of 18.
Right.
I'm 53 now. I've not had an opportunity to work in the gym all that time. Again, because in New Zealand, the communication waiver. But since I came over the UK, I didn't have the confidence because I thought maybe things have changed. I have to go on a course to learn again. Because fitness world has changed over the time. And but I did go on a course to refresh up my qualifications just in case there's some change. But it wasn't that much. But one thing I noticed with the personal training courses back then, they didn't include the nutrition food about it.
Right.
So when I went on the Beachbody, and I learned so much from it. But I'm an extrovert and introvert, so I'm both. But I just didn't know how to get out there. Even though I tried, but I wasn't able to get anyone on board with me or give me the opportunity to help them. It was so hard, but I've got the passion of my fitness, and at the moment, I'm making a start to write a book about nutrition and fitness because
Amazing.
of platform training is part of my business that I'm building up. I'm learning to write a book, and so that's something that I'm going to keep my personal training qualification knowledge ongoing rather than trying to find people to help them to lose weight or improve their fitness. I'm just going to do something completely different. I'm just going to throw my knowledge out there and see how it goes. So that's something that is a passion of mine, fitness as well.
That's amazing. It's so obvious that what the internet can and the online business world, like if people want to jump into it, it's obvious that it just opens up so many opportunities. There's no limit to it, is there?
No, there's no limit to it, no. And also, like I said, with my fitness, I feel what I've learned over the last nearly 1.5 years, I think I'm going to find my moment that I'm going to build a fitness of something one day. And my second stream of income, I am going to do that because it's given me the confidence to put something out there. Whereas before, I didn't know what to do or how to do it. But now I know what I can do, so I'm going to do that.
The world's your oyster. That's so cool. That's awesome to hear, Andy. Man, I'm so glad I got you out on this. We are running out of time, unfortunately. But what is the one piece of advice that somebody has given you that has helped change your life?
Oh, well, okay. Obviously, the mindset has helped me to change my thinking of what I want and need out there. Like right now, I'm not prepared to find another part-time job or something that involves working for them.
Yeah.
I'm having to do what they need or want, where I want something what suits me and what I need. And it's definitely the mindset, like I said before, with my part-time job now, the structure and everything, it's not up to scratch. And I'm constantly like, oh, come on, there's a better software out there that we can do this better to make our life easier. But no. So I'm like, right, okay, I want this. This is my direction of where I want to go with my business, and I'm going to build other business and well alongside to develop what I want to do.
That's amazing, Andy. Yeah, I want to really thank you for jumping out today. This has been awesome. And I'm super keen to get you back out at some point further down the road and see where you're at with it, because that's pretty exciting. And I'd love to see where you go with it.
No, that's great. Thank you. That'd be great. Yeah. One thing I just want to say is that my business is developing to help disabled entrepreneurs with online business to to help them to develop their business or find ways of how they can actually improve or do something better with their own business if they are in business already. For those who want to start from scratch, then obviously what I've been through, I've got the knowledge and I can pass that on to the disabled people if they are interested.
That's so awesome, Andie, and yeah, that's a very good point right there. I'd like to. How do people find you? How can people find you if they want to jump into this with you?
Obviously, I've through my website at the moment.
Yeah, we can. I'll add that into the description of this, and so people can
Yeah, that's fine.
reach out to you and find you. Yeah, that's unreal. That's cool, man. My friend, we've still got about 5 minutes, but all right, my friend, man, thank you so much for this. You're actually my first guest on here.
Okay, thank you. Great, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for jumping out. Really appreciate it, and it was really good to connect with you. Keep in touch.
And you too. Lovely to meet you in person via Zoom as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.